Hi there, this is Lee, and I'm talking once more on pesticides, the bee population, and then Dr. and scientist Jill Stein's take on pesticide use in agriculture and how that's affecting our bee population. These um, ideas were greeted with derision by a writer at Slate and a few other pop culture and political science writers without scientific degrees who decided that they did not believe that Jill Stein, who not only attended Harvard Medical School but actually taught at Harvard Medical School and was a practicing physician and had published in scientific journals, they felt that she could not possibly have any idea of what science was, and so they would tell her what science was, though they didn't have degrees themselves. Soft science, maybe the political sciences, social science, but certainly not the hard science of being a practicing physician, taking classes in anatomy, public health, internal medicine, things like that, actually treating a patient and saving someone's life. Jill Stein has. And so she's made comments about our food supply, our public health, the environment, and how it all affects us either positively or negatively. She's spoken of pesticides. And so, for some reason, I've noticed that it is almost always male writers who are non scientists who feel that they have the courage to challenge Dr. Jill Stein for whatever reason that could possibly be, that they would tell her in a very condescending tone of voice that she couldn't possibly know what she was talking about. And it just seems so strange to me. I still barely understand it. It just seems kind of ridiculous and silly, though. But it also seems kind of dangerous as well, because again, these are issues of public health. And so, for a political science writer to present himself as an expert in a field in which he is not an expert and say, there is nothing wrong with these pesticides, keep on eating them on your vegetables, it's no problem at all. And then deriding someone who's the voice of reason saying, no, that's not a good idea. If they kill bees, what do you think that pesticide's going to do to you as it makes its way into your food supply? So it's dangerous. And so I think those people really need to close their mouths and stay in their lane and leave the science to the scientists unless they actually make an effort to do research to make up for their lack of education and talent and skill and practice in this arena. If you're not going to do your research, then please just do that instead. Anyway, there is a press release that has come from the Pesticide Action Network North America. It's dated August 26th. And it says that with new rules, Minnesota leads the country in protecting pollinators from pesticides. And so they're saying that there's bee harming seed coatings that have been addressed that they want to um, do something about. This is St. Paul, and it says this morning at the state fair, Governor Mark Dayton and Commissioner of Agriculture Dave Frederickson announced Minnesota's comprehensive new plans to limit the use of bee harming pesticides across the state of Minnesota. Today's decision concludes a nearly 3-year review of the impact of neonicotinoid insecticides on pollinators, and that was conducted by the Minnesota Department of Agriculture. And so that was an executive order from Governor Mark Dayton, and it makes Minnesota a national leader and pollinator protection, and the first state to tackle neonicotinoid use in farm fields and on public lands. And so they're protecting their food supply. They're protecting not only their food supply for human consumption, but they're also protecting the pollinators in their state because they found that the pesticides are causing harm. And so, again, if you don't believe Dr. and scientist Jill Stein, will you believe Governor Mark Dayton and the Commissioner of Agriculture, Dave Frederickson, and the Minnesota Department of Agriculture? I mean, what is it going to take for you to accept that there's an issue with the use of bee-harming pesticides on the food supply? And more than that, what is it going to take for you to accept that Jill Stein, Dr. Jill Stein, is a scientist and that she knows what she's talking about? And if there is something that she needs to have further research on, of course she'll do that. But she has a large body of education and experience and talent and skill and work in that arena on which to draw a conclusion. And I feel it's of concern to me as a woman myself that there seems to be an issue with our male members of our mainstream media who find it within themselves to condescend and talk down to and mock and belittle one of our two female presidential candidates, even though they cannot match her intelligence, nor her education, nor her experience, nor her skill, nor her body of work in this arena. So I, would like to ask what that's about, but I think I know already what it's about. There's an issue here. Jill Stein doesn't address it from that point of view. Unlike Hillary Clinton, she doesn't play the woman card, the gender card, the sexism card, the misogyny card. But I think I see it for what it is, that there is a general lack of respect being paid here. And I like to see it stop. Otherwise, I'm just going to keep on creating these videos and I'm going to be naming names. I'm going to be telling people about themselves because they need to be told. Some of you already know who you are. And then some of you will know who you are. Okay, good job for Dr. Jill Stein.